Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. And I'm going to be doing a head shave today. This one today is going to be dedicated to Gnomeo. I've basically done a list now of people that I'm going to just do a video and chuck their photographs up and try and give a bit of a rundown of sort of what I know about them and what the shaving's all about and how the channel started and things like that. So before I do, I just want to sort of clear the air a little bit. There's a word that's been getting chucked about natural hair brushes at the moment, and the word is hate. And just from my point of view, I don't hate natural hair brushes. I've never said I hate natural hair brushes. I do own a very, very expensive shedding natural hair brush, but I've never ever used that word. I find them almost an art to using them. I prefer synthetics because they're easier, they're cheaper, they dry quicker, they don't shed. All the problems that you can get with a natural hair brush and all the things that take time. A natural hair brush is very similar to a straight razor in terms of you using a DE razor and a straight razor. Straight razors require honing, they require stropping, they require oiling, require maintenance. A natural hair brush does as well. Synthetics don't. I don't really have the time, unfortunately, where I can just use things like straights and natural hair brushes all the time. If I had to keep cleaning them and I had loads and loads of them. Some people put photographs on Facebook of like 15, 20 brushes. I'm going to clean my brushes today. I don't have that time, unfortunately, so synthetics just work better for me, and they do create an easier, quicker lather, even though my videos technically last the same amount of time, so I would probably say that it's not really much difference. But hate is a really strong word. I don't hate natural brushes at all. In fact, I don't think I've ever come across anyone that does. So I just wanted to chuck that out there. But anyway, back to Gnomeo, who his photograph's already been on here, but it'll be stuck up here now, and I'll try and find a couple of good photographs. It's quite hard because his Facebook page is sort of locked up, so there's not much I can do with actually grabbing photos, so I'll have to go through his videos to try and grab a few funny ones. Might try and get a bit of a bloody picture or something. Right, the soap today, I'm doing a head shave. I don't think I mentioned that, but it'll be on the start of the video anyway, the name of the video. And I'm going to use Royal Tahitian Lime shaving cream, which was sent to me from John Corinci over at Elvado, and this stuff's really good. I was really surprised. It comes in a pressureless pump. You pump it and it sucks it up. It's a bit like a moisturising cream idea. The base moves up and squirts the cream out. What's great about this is it says pump two pumps onto your brush and away you go. I did 3 for my head shave last time. I'm going to do 2 today and just see if it makes any difference to the lather itself. But it's made in Canada. I should have printed it off again, but this is something like, does it actually say on here? Yeah, 100% essential oils, 92% organic, and it's you can use it with a brush or without a brush, and that's the beauty of this. You can take it on holiday with you. If you lose your brush or it breaks or something happens or you forget to take it, as long as you've got this, you can shave with a good quality shaving cream with amazing slickness. Okay, so let's wet the head. As you guys that follow football or soccer, the Premier League started back up on Friday night. Watched all the football last night, and Manchester United kick off at 10:30 tonight. So I'm going to be using my Manchester United custom Leo Frio brush. This was sent to me from Oive Chapel, Alex over in New York, and the reason I use this one more is it's got a slightly higher loft than the Manchester United brush that I got from Leo Frio. It's just slightly higher, and just whip up a bit of lather, and it's got a bit more splay on it. The other one works absolutely fine for head shaves. It's not the best for face shaves. Now, this video is going to be a bit longer because I'm going to talk a bit of shit through it. The knot on this is a game changer. Now, if you look at the shape of it, it's quite a sort of narrow bulb. It sort of goes straight up, doesn't splay out to the sides. And the one thing I've noticed with this brush is if I push all the way over to that side, you can see the bulb is moved. And if I do that way, you can see it's moved over this side. Now it's very subtle, but I can notice it. I know you can notice it on the camera as well. I just wanted to highlight again, I've noticed some people buying Evershade brushes from Milton on Etsy, and they're buying the Boss / tuxedo style knot. Not tuxedo, Boss / game changer knot style. Now this here is a Boss knot from Brush Guy brushes, and there's the game changer next to it. Now colour wise, they're very, very similar, the actual colours on them. This one's got a lot more sort of grey, but you can see at the bottom of the Game Changer there's got that grey as well. But the thing that I noticed straight away is the way the bulb shoots out at the sides. It's a much bigger bloom. This is the same size knot, by the way. Much bigger bloom on this knot, and when you push it here, it just springs straight back to the shape it was on. There's no, it doesn't go to the left or go to the right. It doesn't do that. It just stays exactly where it is when it's dry. When it's wet, it's different, obviously, but you can notice this one move to the one side and move to the other. Just the tip, top of the bulb moves and it sits there. It's just something to bear in mind when you buy it. A Game Changer knot feels and looks different to a Boss knot, in my opinion, having used them both now. Right, so I haven't used this before, this actual type of cream for the Royal Tahitian Lime anyway. I've used it for Lake of the Woods, and the same, it's incredible. I'm expecting this to be the same, so I'll just dip the brush in the water, flick out most of it, and I'm just going to pump it until we see it. There we go. 1, 2, and that's it. So it's that much cream. The great thing with this is it's consistency, and that's one thing I get with synthetic knots as well. I get a consistent lather no matter what soap I use. I will, however, mention one thing with the natural hairbrush that I've got, the Morrison 400. I did get one lather in particular with it that just blew anything away that I'd ever used. It just seemed to be dialed in right, and it made a super thick, creamy, slick, luxurious lather, something that I hadn't really experienced that much with synthetics. I get a great lather every time with a synthetic, if it's a good soap, but it was the first time I'd experienced that where it felt a lot better than a synthetic lather. So it's definitely got its benefits when you can dial it in and get it working right. Right, let's just sort of paint this around a little bit. So yeah, Gnomeo contacted me probably a month ago now, sent me a message on Facebook. Oh, by the way, Spencer, I'll collect my $20 next time I see you, because I've already sorted my mirror out over there. I'm not as fucking thick as I look. When money's involved in Scotsman, you know, you can't fucking win, mate. So yeah, Gnomeo over there, Lee contacted me probably, I reckon it was about a month ago, might have been longer actually. I'm trying to think when he did his first video. I did say that Kyle over at Brown Man Shaves started about 3 months ago, and it's actually 5 months now, which is incredible. But he's a really nice guy. Guy needs to put his shirt on more often. He puts most of his blokes to shame. Does a lot of travelling all over the world as well, which is great. It's something I always wanted to sort of do, but whenever I speak to anyone that does it, they're over it. They've done it for too long, and it's just boring as shit out of them. Right, that's bone dry, absolutely bone dry. So I'm just going to dip the tips. And as you can see, the Game Changer sprays very, very easily. Oh God, this stuff just lathers up incredibly well. You know, for 2 pumps of cream. The thing with the Game Changer is it's got no scritch or scratch, it's got heaps of scrub. And you can give it some real good boof. And it sprays. It sprays very, very easily though, which is lovely. A bit more water, and again let's just see how far we can push this lather. So yeah, so Lee's first shave on YouTube, his channel is Gnomeo, Gnomeo. That's a Gnomeo from Gnomeo and Juliet. I think that was a cartoon that my kids watched. I might have watched it as well actually, I'm just not telling you. And his first shave was with the Camisori. Let me tell you, there was quite a bit of blood. It was good, I enjoyed it. If I'm brutally honest, most of the channels I watch, I'm wanting a bit of blood, as you guys probably do when you watch my channel as well. It just adds to the flavour. But he'd been wet shaving traditionally for quite a while, and decided that his very first ever time with the Camisori would be on video, which was quite a novel idea really, that he did it that way. Because it was almost like he was starting out fresh, because it's something he'd never done before. And I thought he did really well with it, and there's no way I would have done that well with my first use of a Camisori. Or it wasn't even it was a Chevet, which is even more lethal. I just need some more water again. This lather's pretty damn amazing. I hope you guys can appreciate how this is building. I don't normally head lather, but for 2 pumps of cream, and it's not airy at all, it's really thick and creamy. The scent's coming down. It's just a beautiful citrus oomph. It's the Royal Tahitian lime. When I first got it, I thought it was going to be just pure lime. When I smelled it, it's got a really rich citrus, beautiful scent. Oh, this is starting to get a gorgeous shine. Look at that shine there, see it? Just see it? This lather is really, really top stuff. It is do you know something? I have to say it's probably as good a lather as I've had with any soap. And I'm talking about soaps. Creams generally aren't that great unless you go for something like Occam's. Elvado, I've really, really raised the bar with this. This is probably the best cream I've ever used, which is a bold statement, and I've used quite a lot of creams over my time. I've only been shaving for a year, traditional wet shaving for a year. I'm just going to dip the tips again, stuff it, let's see how far I can push this lather. It's going to be a long video anyway, so I might as well push it out. I've just seen Tony's put a comment on there, which was actually, it was on Spencer's channel, I think. It may have been on my channel, I'm not sure. About the old natural brush. I hate this apparently going about. I know you're not that kind of bloke, mate. You natural hair guys, you know, you're pretty passionate about your trade. The funny thing is, I don't drive anything other than manual cars. I can't stand automatics, I think they're fucking horrible things. I think if you've got 2 arms, 2 legs and good eyesight, why the fuck are you driving an automatic? That's way more lazy than using a synthetic brush. I know Spencer's sat over there with his fucking automatic sports car going, oh fucking shut up Chris, for fuck's sake. So yeah, no, by the way, this is the Wunderbar by Racerbrock. I've got a Kai blade in here. I've got no idea how many shaves is on this blade. I think it's probably 6 now, I'm not 100% sure. I've just pulled it a couple of times and it feels incredible already, so super smooth. I know it's super boring watching me use the same razor over and over again. If you have not used Kai blades before, I can't recommend them enough to at least try them. They're not going to work for everyone. The first shave, I have to say, is probably the least enjoyable, and it's still a very enjoyable smooth shave. But this is on its 6th use, I think. 6, maybe more than that, I'm not sure. I stopped counting them now, I just use them until they feel shit. But this blade in particular gets sharper the more you use it. You might think I'm crazy, but I can assure you, having read a review on it which actually told me about it, and it made sense to me how this blade works, because it was, as I first started using it, it was getting better and better with every shave. I think I got 13 shaves out of my first ever Kai razor blade, and I could have got more, I just stopped. Probably using sensibility really, didn't want to push it too far. Slickness on this cream is off the charts. It's incredible stuff. I've been very, very impressed with Elvado's products. I've been very impressed with John who makes them, because he's just a really nice, honest guy. And look, yeah, he sends me these products. He actually said I'm sending you a few samples, and ended up sending me, the samples are actually the real bottles, the real tubs. And the fact that they're still in my den, I normally give stuff like that away, the fact they're still in my den and I still use them quite regular, gives you an idea of how good they are for creams. I much prefer this pump bottle over his tubs of creams, and I wouldn't be surprised if he phases out the tubs, because this is exceptional stuff. It's, like I say, the main thing I love about it is its consistency with it. I know I'm using it pretty much an exact amount of cream every time. I'm not loading it for 3 seconds too long in the tub or 3 seconds too little. I'm getting the exact same amount every time. So essentially my shave with this cream should be, or my lather at least, should be spot on every time I use it. With a synthetic it will be, with a natural hairbrush it won't, because there's so many variations that can come with a natural hairbrush. But it takes a lot of water. As you've seen, I've dipped the tips a lot on the brush. I'll just mention with the razor as well, I always sort of do most shaves anyway. There is no overhang. If you watch Paul H, he's the guy that sort of got me into this overhang thing. There's no overhang on this razor at all, and there's not much overhang on many slants that I've heard about, or any overhang at all. It's great for head shaving because you don't have to worry about the size of your ears with the sides of the razor. And the same under your nose if you're face shaving, you're not having to worry about it. It's really great for that. Now I've been talking shit for a while then. The lather's been on my head for quite a while. I'm 16 minutes in and done fuck all. So that's still thick, creamy lather. In fact, it's just dried out a little bit there. You can see where it's went a little bit bitty. It's just dried out a little touch. But still, for it to sit on my head for that amount of time and still be, and not dissipate at all with the amount of water that I put into it, it's pretty impressive stuff. Smells incredible, real citrus kick to it. Well, this Royal Tahitian lime, you'd like to think there was a citrus kick to something called Royal Tahitian lime. Scent strength, it's hard to tell when I do a head lather because I don't get it quite as much, but I would say the scent strength's an easy 5, might be more than that from what I can smell, just sort of the aroma in the room, and it's just incredible. Right, I'm going to have to sink out because it's chock is full of hair. I've got 2 days growth I think on my head. Now the reason I'm using a head shave for Gnomeo's sort of tribute video, I know he's only been out for a very short period of time, but I think he's got quite a good few subs already, and I've sort of found that since I started my channel, Stephen the Suffolk Shaver started his just not long before mine, I don't think, probably 6 months before mine. There wasn't many new shavers around when I started mine in terms of actual new shaving channels. In fact, I don't think there was really any. Probably the least amount of subs that I'd seen would have probably been Rudd's over at Rudd Shaves. So other than that, everyone else was sort of 1,000 and above. And it's really exploded this year. And I'm not, oh god, this is so slick. I'm not one for sort of taking credit on anything, but myself, Stephen, Ken's another one he was about as well, but I didn't actually find out about Ken until December. God, this is really, really slick stuff. But I try and promote everyone. I try and get everyone's name out there. I try and do my best for anyone's channel, and you guys know that. That's what it's all about, trying to help other people. I've got the same business sense as well. I try and help everyone that's in a business, even though my business is struggling, I'll still try and help others. And it's just the way I am. But I've been really enjoying it this year because of the amount of people that's come out. I'm not going to ring off names anymore because there's that many of you, and I always miss one, and someone always gets a bit upset. I'm not pointing fingers at Stephen at all. I think the unfortunate thing for Stephen over at the Suffolk Shaver is I've missed them off too. So I'm not going to name them all anymore. I'll name them one at a time. Right, so lather number 2. The lather's really dry, so I'm going to dip the tips and just see how it grows. Let's see how well this cream deals with a good dose of water on a second coating. bear in mind that I've got not got a big head, but it's bigger than Spencer's because his hasn't fully developed yet because he's still a child, he's still a boy. You know, and I mean, if you watch this latest video, you've noticed that the boar brush covered pretty much his whole head because it hasn't developed yet. You know, and he's drinking whiskey as well, so he's obviously stunting his growth, which isn't good, mate. You know, you've got to look after yourself at that age. You know? I can't even remember being 13 anymore. I mean, it must take him a long time to implant all the hairs again before he shaves them off. This is meant to be about Gnomeo. Spencer, you're taking over my channel, you prick. So Gnomeo's just popped another video out today, which I'll probably hopefully watch later on. The good thing with the football is it's on late at night, so generally on half time, when we get 15 minutes break, I will pop on the old YouTube and watch a few videos, and maybe one or two, try as many as I can when it's downtime during the games on the half time breaks, which are only 15 minutes, so it's quite hard to fit a shave video in because most of them are 20 minutes plus, unless you're Don Younger over at Wet the Face, who can whip up an amazing bowl ladder, have a full shave, talk shit for 25 minutes and it only lasts 8 minutes. Now hopefully I can highlight the residual slickness of this soap for my touch-ups, my clean-up pass. This is definitely a lot thinner on the second coating, so 3 pumps might actually work out better for my head shaves. That being said, however, I know how slick this stuff is, and it's just amazingly slick. I'm not going to have any problems at all. With any residual slickness for my pickups, I just know I won't. It would easily fall into my top 2, and I would say this is just ever so slightly behind Holy Call Donkey Milk formulation, and I would say it's in front of Barristan Man, Wickham, Sterling, everything for residual slickness, which for my head shaves I need, and I really need it, especially for doing the pickups. Yeah, it's just slickness is off the charts. I've been made aware as well with my last video, which I dedicated to Ken, to Kyle over at Brown Man Shaves, but the last section of it is just Kyle's face because I forgot to put the picture in a picture. I've just put the whole picture over the whole screen. Thankfully, it's not. The first picture, where Kyle looked extremely miserable to be starting his journey in wet shaving on YouTube. don't know why I'm going like this to shape my head. Thankfully my arm covers it and you don't actually see it. Now those strokes I'm doing there, just straight from bottom to top, there's very, very few razors and blade combos that do that for me. This one does it every time, without fail. I've just cut myself there. Good on you, Chris. Wanker. Yeah, it's a good one as well. I have to be talking up the slickness. The slickness is great, by the way. That was just a bad angle. Yeah. It's definitely a cut. Right about there. Right, I'm just going to paint just on my crown. Don't let that put you off, by the way, that was just lack of concentration. It's the first time I've cut myself with the Wunderbar in quite some time. Now I'm just going to dip my fingers, and the slickness is just incredible. To the point that it's quite hard to actually grip my skin and pull it back a bit, so that I can just get the final little bits of hair. Now, I thought I'd cut myself already. In fact, you know what, I put money on it. It's the blood. It's definitely blood somewhere. That's got to be one of the best head shapes I've had. So there you go, Gnomeo. You have been part of one of the best shaves I've ever done. slickness is just incredible on this, so I know I've cut this earlier slightly. I'm going to cut myself. Where is it? Well, you guys will see anyway. I'll just get the styptic. Now, I haven't used styptic on my head or my face for quite a while now, so I'm quite pleased with that. What's this going to sting like buggery? The job's worth doing. It's worth doing right. If it's not worth doing right, give it to Spencer. I think this could be the start of the new Buster CDB shit talk for shaving channels. Unfortunately, by the time I started wet shaving, I sort of missed it all because Buster had just pretty much hung up his boots on the wet shaving channel. Right, that's me done. So that should be healed up now, hopefully. The good thing is, I know there's nothing else anywhere else, which is the main thing. I'm just going to rinse off the brush. The good thing with this game-changing oil is because of the size of it, it takes literally seconds to rinse it off and clean it out. Because it's not a really long knot either, the ladder doesn't dig deep into the knot. So that's it cleaned out. Now you probably see the bend on it more now. You can actually see where it's. But yeah, wonderful little brush. And it's still bleeding just a touch, but that's alright. What's in this one? Just got alum in it. Right, I'm going to finish off with the Royal Tahitian Lime Balm and then the splash. This, at the moment, is pretty much what you'll get if you order from any stores just now, because they're basically fading this bottle out. The bottle in this one is lovely as well. If I'm honest, I probably prefer this bottle with the black. I'm a big fan of black. Black with that little lime on there looks great, it just makes the lime stand out. This is the bottle you'll get if you order now. Over time, once they run out of stocks, this will be the bottle that you'll get, the same as the cream, so they'll all be uniform. If you get them all when you're done, you'll be able to see they'll all be the same. So that's the new one, but I'm going to obviously start off and finish off with this one. 3 squirts. Yeah, it's pretty much stopped. Now the thing with the Elvado post-shave products, it doesn't matter really what way you put them on, whether you put the cream on first or you put the splash on first or last. Oh, that's just incredible. The scent on it is amazing. You've got to get in quick to get any bits of straggly here, because this stuff dries in so quickly. I mean, that's bone dry now. since it's bone dry, I'm going to finish off straight away with the Elvado Aftershave Tonic Alcohol Free Splash. Oh, it smells amazing. It smells very similar to the Royal Tahitian Lime, but it's got a beautiful kick and mint to it as well. It's just gorgeous stuff. Longevity wise, you don't get much out of it, probably an hour and a half. Now the reason I put it on like that is I find whenever you put the moisturiser on first and you put that on, it sort of loosens the moisturiser that's on top of your skin. They both mix together and then they both dry in and absorb into your skin beautifully. The scent's just amazing. If you love citrus and you want high quality products at pretty good prices, well, I think they're pretty good prices. These are $24 Canadian, which might seem a lot, but I can tell you now, at 2 pumps per shave, that's going to last a long time. And it's 3.4 ounces, but let's say it's a measured amount. You're not overloading or underloading, you get an exact same experience every time you use it, and I think that's an amazing thing, because you can have a great experience with the soap by overloading it and then next time not got enough soap and it doesn't give you the same experience. That's when synthetics come into their own. You can get a winning experience on most creams and soaps with a synthetic brush. A lot more difficult with a natural hair brush, as I know personally now. I'm getting better though. Right, so that's that. So the shaving cream for today was Elvado Royal Tahitian Lime. It's just beautiful stuff. For you, Lee, over at Gnomeo, this would be awesome for your Chevette shaves because it's got incredible slickness. It really would be. It's excellent stuff. The brush was the 24mm Game Changer knot set into a chubby, stubby tile style handle made by Leo Frio over in the States. I think it's Perfect Woodwork LLC is his company. You can find him on Facebook. If you type in Leo Frio Perfect Woodwork LLC, I think the only way you can get in contact with him is through Facebook. But he makes beautiful little brushes, he really does. I mean, that's 3 different casts or resins, and what he does is he sticks a rod through from the bottom through the 3 of them, glues them all together with a rod as well, so it's not just 3 separate bits joined together, they're joined with a rod as well to really hold it together, and they're just gorgeous. They really are. There's no striations on it, no marks on it, all they're just perfectly polished, they're almost perfection. They're as good quality as Wolf Whiskers in terms of finishing and style. Really impressed. Right, the razor was the Wunderbar Kai blade, which I'll use again because it was exceptionally smooth still, even after the thought of, God, you know something, there's no menthol in this, but the mint just cools your head down amazingly well. Great razor, beautiful handle, really nice. What did I use next? I used Elvado Royal Tahitian Lime Aftershave Balm, which will soon be phased out. This one will phase out and this one will come in. They're the exact same thing, 100ml in each. This one's marked as 100ml, this one's marked as 100 grams. I'm not sure if the formulation's the exact same, but I'm pretty damn sure they will be, because all of his stuff is the same stuff basically. So I would have to actually ask John and find out, but I'm sure it's the same stuff, different bottle, that's the only difference. Elvado Royal Tahitian Lime Splash, which is just smells amazing and it's slick, it's got lots of good properties in there, glycerin, it just feels amazing on your skin, and when you mix it with the moisturising cream it really explodes the scent, and then the mint, my head is really cool at the moment, and that post shave feel, wow, you cannot argue honestly, it's really moisturised. Really enjoyed that shave, that was exceptional. So check out Gnomeo's channel, really nice guy, and his channel's just starting to build now. Does lots of Chevette Camisori style shaves, which I envy him for because it's not something that I've got the balls to do at the moment. I will do it eventually, but just not yet. I might try a straight first because I hear they're not quite as dangerous, even though it looks more dangerous. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Like I say, don't hate natural hair brushes. Anyone, there's no need to hate any brush or any part of weight shaving. Everyone's individual, everyone's got their own taste and their own preferences. Just enjoy what you enjoy, and that's what it's all about. I enjoy having banter with some people, and that's it's all in good fun and good nature. So other than that, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll pop a link for Gnomeo down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.